What's your mahar? What's your price?
I think personally, a lot of females, like I was when I was like maybe like 19, 20, 21, we're not serious. We're not actually looking for a husband. So when we talk about like marriage, everything's a joke. You know, we'll throw like the highest number out there. And I think a lot of men, what they see of women asking for a really high mahar is all online, it's all social media. I don't think they've had a real experience with a woman saying, I want this X amount, which I'm not saying that they need to, but I'm saying don't believe everything you see on social media, because a lot of these females, they're just joking.
What's your mahar? What's your price?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't like actually seriously thought about it because
it's time
I only recently decided.
I'm presenting you with a brother. This print, your knight in shining armor. By the way, this knight in shining armor business is nonsense. If the armor is shining, it means he hasn't been through any tests or trials. But anyway, I'm gonna bring you your knight in shining armor. Okay, he's here. He's ready to marry you. What's your mahar?
I haven't thought about it.
But let's think about it right now, Hannah. Because if you haven't thought about it, how do you expect to get married? It's an important thing to think about. Throw a number.
Yeah, but I only recently, like within like the last month, I've started being
okay. Throw a number. I need a number. Give me a number.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have a number.
Okay. Less than 1,000?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So there is a number. More than 1,000?
Yeah, obviously.
1,100? 1,100?
In pounds?
Yes, in pounds.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
1,100. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Wait, 1,100 is in £1,100?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Right, yalla. 1,500?
No. I'll be honest.
Hold on. Work with me. 2,000?
2,000 is like what? 2 months salary?
2.5?
No.
3?
I'll be honest. I'm not thinking about money. I'd rather ask for something for him.
Hannah.
This is number one bullshit.
Of course you're thinking about money. You just said that 3,000 is not enough. So yalla, tell me. أنا بحب اللحم كثير وهذا الريت الدار or here for the لحم يضرب 1 hour. Okay, 4,000. 4,000.
Depends on how old he is. If he's my age, and I think I wouldn't go higher than maybe 4 or 5. If he was my age, exactly my age.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, so you say you don't know how much you want, but at the same time you kind of have an idea, because you know 1,000 ain't enough, 2,000 ain't enough, 3,000 ain't enough, 4,000 isn't enough. So you do have an idea. Can I ask, based upon what did you get this number? What is this man to be getting in return? Because now we're getting into the high numbers. What's he getting in return?
I think, first of all, I already said that I haven't actually really thought about this. And I do think that a lot of girls, when we joke around, we say high numbers. And I honestly feel like it's dangerous, because once you keep joking about marriage, it becomes a joke. So once you keep joking and saying 10K, 15K, and then you start thinking, 10K, 15K. And then when you hear 1K, it's like, it becomes sort of.
So Hannah, what is a man getting in return? You know what? Before we even get there, you haven't answered me. 5,000 enough for you? 6,000. 7,000.
I don't know. I already said I don't have a number. I think we should just move on.
You do have a number, because you have turned down the first few thousand. All right, I'm going to keep going, and you tell me when to stop, okay? 8,000. 9,000.
No.
No? More?
I think if he's my age, I think I wouldn't go over 4,000. I wouldn't go over, or maybe 5.
Okay. If he's your age, £5,000. I mean, I wouldn't pay it, but it's not bombastic. You know, I never paid more than £150 for any of my wives, including the one who I married first time around. Never more than £150. So if you were to say to me £5,000, I'll say to you,
this is number one bullshit.
Ma'a salama.
That's the thing. I haven't really thought about it. I could change my mind. I could
Do
do
you
that.
want to know why? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why, Hannah? Do you want to know why I would say that?
I think you're putting too much pressure on me.
Because look, this is all I require.
Put that burqa on and shut the fuck up.
As well as this.
She cooks, she cleans, she won't cheat because she'll get stoned. She gives you as many kids as you want, she obeys.
I'm a simple man. I am simple. Very simple. So why would I pay £5,000 for something that is so simple? Just please help us to understand this. We want to understand.
No, because I feel like you pushed me in a corner. I'm not saying 5,000, 100%. I'm just saying, if you don't present 1,000 to a female, why don't you say I'll buy you a ring instead? But if you say, oh, I'm only going to give you 1,000, you're not worth anything. That's
because
repulsive.
mahar is something that we have to talk about. It's part of our deen. It's stipulated in our religion. We can't avoid it, right? Do you understand? Now, typically, how it should be is that a man, he says to a woman what he's willing to pay. Well, it is what it is. What he's willing to pay, and then she says yes or no. That's how it should work. Now that the script has been flipped, whereby we're asking women what do they want, and then they just pull out these numbers from thin air. Okay, let me ask you a question, Hannah.
But I say something?
Hold on. What the mahar of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ was the equivalent of around £800. The equivalent of its weight in silver today, in today's money, is around £800 sterling. My question for you, Hannah, is what do you have in terms of qualities that the mother of the believers didn't have, wal'iyadu billah, to justify you asking for more than what they did?
Absolutely nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing.
Okay, but hold that thought. So if you have absolutely nothing on them, which I agree, of course, they are our mothers, then radiyallahu anhum jami'an, then where do you get the audacity to put numbers out there that are 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than what the wives of the Prophet ﷺ got?
Yes, I know. I 100% agree with you. But I think what I'm saying...
Hold on. Everything before but is BS. Everything before but...
This is number one bullshit.
So if you agree with me, Hannah, then wouldn't it make sense that you need to reconsider what type of mahar you will be happy with, and look at the more important things of the brother himself? All right, let me explain to you what I mean. There are some sisters who want very high mahars for the purpose of security, not realizing that even £10,000, even £20,000 can be spent like that. A more important question would be, where is this man going? Do I see this man has some type of future, some type of like optimistic, colorful future ahead of him, and I can jump on board with that? Because let me tell you something: 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, it's nothing. It goes like that. Yes.
One, I've only started being serious about marriage maybe within the last month. So there's a lot of things that
Hold that thought. Ilyas Mohandes, I want to get this out real quick before it leaves. Jazakallah khair for the €5 super chat. How women look at a man's money is how we men look at your looks. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. Yes, Hannah. Shukran for the super chat, Ilyas. Carry on, Ilyas. Sorry, Hannah. Carry on.
I'm saying, yeah, I've only started seriously thinking about marriage like a month ago, and I've been thinking about all these things, like for example the meher thing. And I'm not saying that I want £5,000 like me. I'm not saying that. And I have been thinking about the fact that men do have a lot of responsibilities. For example, if he's going to pay the bills, if that's what I want, then I think it's making it more difficult to then ask for a large sum of money. And I don't really see the value of me having a large sum of money in my bank account just for the sake of it.
Good.
Because what would I even spend it on? Like, I don't know anything about investment or anything. So what I'm saying is, I'm not requiring a large sum. I would rather maybe he says like, oh, I will buy you a ring and I will also pay for Hajj, let's say. But the men...
Whoa. Do you know how much Hajj is? Do you know how much...
This is number one bullshit.
How much is Hajj, Hannah? You live
in the UK. Why am I always complaining?
Hold on. You live in the UK, right? You got a British accent. How much is Hajj? Please tell me.
Can you not afford Hajj once in my life?
Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying as a prerequisite to mahar, do you know how much Hajj is?
So he can't even take me Hajj.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Answer the question. Don't be disingenuous. I am saying to you, do you know how much Hajj is?
I think it's like 3,000 maybe.
No, it was 3,000 back in 2007. Hajj now you're looking at around £6,000. Okay, so now you want, let's just put this down to money. You want £6,000 plus what else? The mahar as well. Is that what you said, or the ring? What else was it?
Yeah, let's say a ring, but
Right. Okay. How much is
I'm
the ring?
sorry, I feel like anything a female says, you men have something to say back. Like anything a female says is not enough. Unless she's happy to take
I'm still waiting. Hold on. I'm still waiting for your counter argument. Hajj is £6,000.
Sorry?
I'm still waiting for your counter argument. Hajj is £6,000. That's a lot of money, right? To make that as a stipulation. You see, he wants to take you on Hajj, but he doesn't want to feel like it's a stipulation in his contract. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that.
You understand? He wants to take you, but he doesn't want to feel like he's going to lose his head if he doesn't. It's too.
Okay, what can a woman ask for?
Pardon?
What can a woman ask for?
I would say to you, the sooner the better. Very simple. What's the fear in accepting a mahar that the wives of the Prophet ﷺ accepted? Because ultimately, Hannah, if you are choosing to marry this man, you are choosing to accept to marry this man, then it means that you have entrusted him with your future. With that being the case, what's wrong with accepting a mahar that is the equivalent of that to what the wives of the Prophet ﷺ accepted?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but
Barakallahu feek.
yes, I know, but
so hold on, Hannah. Before the but, if that's the case, then what do you think the next logical step should be the next time you get into a serious discussion with a brother that you really like and you want to marry, in terms of your stipulations for mahar?
What's the equivalent to their mahar today?
About £800, £850, and the equivalent of its weight in silver.
I would prefer he buy me £800 of gold, but just for a guy to, I don't know. I think.
What's the fear? This is a fear. What's the fear? For you to accept £800 mahar, it's troubling you. Why? What's the fear?
That all he has is £800.
I don't care how much money I have. I ain't paying no woman more than £150. Period. Ever. That's Mahar Fatimi. Mahar Fatimi was less, equivalent of £80. Period. Now, am I stingy? No. After I got married, I took my wife on a lovely honeymoon, beautiful honeymoon, 5-star hotel. Like, I brought her all sorts of gifts and all sorts. But the mahar, hell no. I ain't negotiating on that. Why? Because the low mahar is the sunnah. The mahar that is closest to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is the best mahar. That's why. I don't want anything to strip or take barakah away from my marriage. You see, it's not coming from a place of stinginess or from a place of me being a miser. No, it's coming from a place of I don't want to do anything that could impact the barakah of my marriage. Mahar, 150 quid. After that, go wherever we want to go.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like the more I think about my head, I see it as kind of like if you make it a lot, it is a bit excessive because he is going to pay the bills and stuff. But yes, I know I'm saying, but I think with the way that men react to Mahar, for example, a lot of guys, they say, oh, I'm only going to give her £100 or I'm only going to give her £500. And the way they say it comes across as if they are sort of offended.
Oh, okay, go on, carry on. Offended.
And and I think also another part of it is if my man was taking care of me, paying the bills, and I was comfortable, then I wouldn't mind a low mahar. But if he wasn't, and then I also have to, like my friends, girls will ask you, what was your mahar?
Hold on. You keep stopping mid-sentence. You keep stopping mid-sentence. You also have to what?
Sorry?
Were you going to say if he wasn't taking care of all the bills, and you also have to what?
I'm saying sometimes it can be
Yes.
embarrassing.
What's embarrassing?
Because you can know that your man values you and stuff, but if a female asks you, "Oh, what was wrong with him?" and you say £100, she's gonna look at you like
what? Why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care? You see, this is the problem. This is the problem, Hannah, is that because you girls are so worried about what the other girl is thinking, you are all keeping each other single. You're not married right now, right? You are all keeping each other single. Now, you're fortunate. You're still in your prime. You still have an opportunity to rectify this. But best believe, if you find a man that you like and you really want to marry, and you accept a more reasonable mahar, and then your friends start mocking you, understand that they will be mocking you. On the one hand, they might think, "Oh, look at her, she's desperate." But let me tell you, the overriding feeling that is motivating that mockery is that they are jealous that you are married and they are still single. It's being motivated by jealousy. Stop worrying about what the next sister's gonna think and say, and start worrying about you, because nobody else is gonna be there to wipe your tears at night. And once you're crying me a river because your best years have passed, and now suddenly the door has stopped knocking.
Well, also about that, I think when a girl's 30, you say, "Oh, she shouldn't have a long checklist." But when she's 21, she also shouldn't have a long checklist.
Good.
So there's no real advantage of her being in her prime.
No, of course there's an advantage. The advantage is she is desirable to a larger demographic of men. That's the advantage. She's desirable to a large demographic of men. But I told you the other day when we had this chat the other day, Hannah, that the requirements that you're looking for, you think 50 grand is not a lot. No, 50 grand is double the average, nearly double the average. So you need to start reconsidering what age demographic you are willing to marry into. And there's nothing wrong with that. 35 plus. And if that's unsavory to you, then understand men your age have as much money as you do. Let me say that again. Men your age have as much money as you do. No shame in that. It is what it is. You guys are young. It's fine. But don't expect him to somehow just, mashallah, just. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. But my main point was, I feel like a lot of young men.
No. Yeah, okay, go on. Your main point. What's your main point?
I heard a lot of young men, they're having this sort of like hatred and like disdain for women, because what they consume online is all these girls mainly joking. They're not being serious. Which, should they joke? No, they shouldn't. About like how high they want their mahar to be. And my advice would be, just get off it. Just get off social media and stop consuming women and then being angry at women online. You know.
All right. Look, I say, look, if women are putting that message out there, that's the equivalent of men putting whatever message you guys don't like out there, and then men turn around and saying, "Oh, we're just joking." Do you understand? That's on you guys. If that message is being perpetuated and peddled, that's on you guys. Hannah, I appreciate you coming on. Shukran, sister. Assalamu alaikum.